and I've got a lot of problems that she can help me with. Yesterday, Jessica completed her first golf tournament representing OCU, and she won the entire tournament. Keep that up, and we'll have a luncheon for you every month. We're really proud of you. All right, we've got at least 3 updates today, all from coaches that you've not heard from before. We have a few new coaches on our staff. I walked in here a little late today, but I was just behind one of our other coaches, and you would expect this coach would maybe be the quickest on our staff because he works in cross country. We hired a new cross country coach this year, and we hired him away from Purdue University. He had been on the staff at Purdue for several years. In addition to coaching, he's been an accomplished runner, and I think he might tell you a little bit about that. But among his accomplishments are that he is the record holder in the Memorial Marathon here in Oklahoma City. So we have our first ever cross-country competition that we're hosting coming up this weekend. And I thought we might get an update on cross-country, so welcome our head coach, Conor Holt. I might add, coaches dress a little more comfortably than some of the others. Conor is kind of showing that off today. All right, go good.
Well, actually, I just came from the cross-country course, so I was out there marking it, and hands are all gone. Blisters now. So, and then of course I was wearing all this stuff. So the only thing that I changed was my top. So I am halfway presentable, I guess. But anyway, yeah, just got hired here this past summer, and we are, like Jim said, we're hosting our first cross-country meet at the where the Daily Oklahoman's made. It's the old Pupka grounds up there off Britton Road, and it's this Saturday. We're running kind of a unique cross-country meet. We're going to run an open race for the public, the community, and that's at 8 o'clock in the morning. And anyone is invited to that. It's a cross-country course, a unique cross-country course. It's on grass, and there's some hills and some downhill. So, and that's at 8 o'clock. And right now I have about 65 people pre-registered for that, so that's pretty cool. So I'm hoping to hit 100 before the week is out. And then at 9 o'clock we're hosting a women's college race, and that's also a 5K. And right now I have 9 college women's teams are going to come, so there's going to be a field of about 76 women. And then at 9:45 we're running a college men's race, and that's going to be an 8K, it's a little bit longer. And we have right now 8 men's college teams with 80 runners registered for that. So it's kind of a first year, you know, kind of just get through it, I think will be the game plan, and but also kind of showcase the cross country here in the Oklahoma City, and obviously with Oklahoma City University. As far as the program itself, when I got hired this past summer, we went out and we just started recruiting like crazy. So that's always the game plan, is always to build your roster up, something maybe like wrestling someday. We'll be looking towards that. So, but right now we have a pretty young team on both sides. We have, on the women's side, we have 7 runners and we have 6 freshmen. And kind of what I'm excited about is that they've showed a level of maturity that you would see from upperclassmen. And right now our number 1 runner is a freshman. She's from Edmond, Oklahoma. Her name is Rachel Brown, and she did a pretty good run this past. We had our first meet at the land run up there in Edmond, and she did a pretty good job. And then the men's side, we have a pretty young roster too. We have 6 guys on the men's side. Now, you need 5 runners to score for a cross-country meet. So the game plan is always have everyone healthy. So that's every day when I come to practice, I say to the kids, how is everyone doing? So right now, everyone feels good. And like I said, we have a pretty young roster. Our number 1 guy on the men's side is a young lad from Ireland, actually. I was able to go and recruit 2 young Irish boys. His name is Porrick McLaughlin, and in the first race this past week, he ran pretty well. He got 2nd overall in the race, and he was actually the first college runner. So he actually got nominated, and he was awarded the Star Conference Athlete of the Week for the whole conference. So that's pretty cool. And that's actually the first time that's ever happened for the university here, is to have an athlete nominated and actually win it. So the plan now is to win a national week athlete of the week, and then obviously then just to let the program grow. But yeah, excited to be here. Excited to start this off on the right footing, and hopefully keep the fingers crossed the weather will be good and that the runners know where to go on the course on Saturday. So, thanks again, appreciate it.
Well, it's just shocking to me that he'd be able to recruit a couple of Irish students. I hadn't thought about it, but we have kind of a European flair to our speakers today, and that'll make more sense to you coming up. One of the great traditions in our volleyball program, and we've only had it for 5 years now, I think, but one of the great traditions we have is that typically our coaches are pregnant at some point. We were able to continue that this year. Rob Edmondson and I were talking yesterday about students who sometimes come to us and say, oh, I just have so many things going on. And of course, being old and wise, we think you don't know anything about having lots of things going on until you've ended in the middle of your first season at a new university, and then you're starting your family and you're pregnant and you got a lot going on. So I'm not suggesting, Nikki, that you give us any more details than you want about the pregnancy. But I think it would be great if you came up and gave us a little update on volleyball. So welcome our head coach, Nikki Dieball.
If I would have read the fine print in my contract a little bit, I might have thought differently.
That's that other duty.
No, I actually had a parent come up to me the other day and he said, I have threatened my daughter with her life that she is to stay out of your office. So, okay, fair enough. First of all, I've been here since February, and so feel like I'm starting to kind of finally feel my way through things, and just wanted to kind of start off by saying how blessed I feel to be a part of this community. It has been like nothing I've ever experienced before, and to be around coaches that have had so much tradition and winning records and just so much experience overall is humbling to me and inspiring. The coaches that I get to work with every day encourage me and really give me a whole lot of insight to things. This is only my 3rd year doing this, and so to be able to go to Rob and Denny and Archie and Brandy has been such a blessing for me to just be able to make contact with these people and gain from their experience. So a little bit about our volleyball team. We are starting to hit the heat of our conference season. We just had our 2nd conference game at OBU. Didn't turn out quite like we wanted to, but we're gaining momentum. We're getting there. We are constantly working hard in practice. I've got 4 seniors, and the rest of them are sophomores and freshmen. So we're relatively young as well. Still trying to feel our way through and get used to each other, but the girls have a great attitude and they really work hard together. They've told me, the returners have told me, this is the best that this team's ever gotten along, which is good for me. It's so nice to not have to deal with the drama, and people that are around women all the time know that that's very typical to have that, so I'm pretty thankful not to have to deal with that so far this year. So they're just a blast to be around. Our travel schedule's been pretty hectic. We've been to Florida, Kansas City twice. We go to Chicago in October. We make a swing to Lubbock here pretty soon. So we're on the road a whole lot, and I have some girls with some very intense majors, biochem, early childhood ed, sports psych. So just a huge gamut of majors, and they're kicking tail in the classroom right now, so I'm really proud of them for that. We are doing a whole lot of volunteer work. And along with the cross-country team, we helped out with a kids triathlon, which the girls loved it. We worked at the finish line, so they were cheering kids on as they were coming through, and worked at the food bank last semester. And so the girls are really, that's one thing we really tried to, or one thing that I really try to instill in is reaching out to our community and not being so involved with ourselves. And they've really embraced that a lot. They love it. They're giving me ideas constantly for things that we can do. So I'm really proud of the women that our girls are growing up to be. So I'm happy to wait. Due January 1st, and my mom's here. She surprised me today. That's my mom. feeling I'm rotten already. I'm already running out of closet space. And I told her to wait, we haven't even had a shower yet. So let other people buy us stuff. So, but it's great to have my family support me and to have all of you guys support us as well. So.
We do have, we're blessed to have a great staff at OCU, and to hear Nikki talk about the camaraderie, I think is important. I might note that if you're on our staff, you better have pretty thick skin, because while we're supportive, we're pretty good at needling one another as well. So I just, that you pointed out Denny Crayball immediately. I thought it was terrific. Denny is with you, win or tie, right, Coach?
Exactly.
All right. We started last year a new program, and that new program was canoe and kayak. We were the first university in the country actually to have a varsity program in canoe and kayak. It made great sense to me because we are the university that has the finest boathouse, perhaps in the world, that we might continue to kind of delve more into water sports. You've heard in the past about what we've done in rowing. You may know that just next week, the annual head of the Oklahoma Regatta will be taking place down on the river, and we'll hear a little bit about that competition, but the Blue Party is next Thursday, and the regatta is Friday and Saturday, and ending Sunday morning. But I thought it might be nice to hear a little bit from our coach. In just our first year of having a team, we've had several of our students who have competed internationally and represented the United States in the sport. So they are among the finest in our country. So to tell us a little bit more and kind of give us an update on canoe and kayak, let's welcome our coach, Shaun Caven.
Conor started off where he's actually now my next door neighbour.
I know, yeah.
And this is only the second time we've actually seen one another. So that's how tight our travel schedule is. So if you didn't understand him, you've got no chance with me. And I can't believe that you could actually learn to play golf in Grimsby. That's pretty amazing to me. You must have played a lot of golf in Scotland. Yeah, that's what you did. In terms of canoe and kayak, we go forwards, so we can see where we're going. That's just a little thing. This is pretty standard stuff. So in terms of the actual program, like Jim said, we're the only school that actually runs a varsity program where you can actually get a scholarship for kayaking. So when I tell parents that are not from Oklahoma City, they look at me like I'm really stupid. For kayak, yeah, my kid can actually kayak and get a scholarship. Yes, they can. So we're kind of setting the standard on that. In terms of what it's done for the program, one girl, Jen Burke, who's now in her second year, she went to the World Cup with another girl who started as a freshman this year. They won a bronze medal in that. They then went to the World Championships in Hungary in August and made the final. So that's a pretty good achievement. So that's top 10 in the world. Well, actually 9th in the world. Cedric Bond, who's second year now, he was in the American team. He paddled with another kid from California. They were in the double and they made the B final at the World Championships, which pushed them in the top 18 in the world. The other girl that we've got started this year, Mia Overton, she's a freshman. She was at the Junior World Championships this year and made the B final at the Junior World Championships in K2, which is a two-person kayak. So the standard we've got is pretty high. It's almost like a national squad within a university. So everybody's at least been to the Junior World Championships and a couple have been to the Senior World Championships. So that's the kind of level of the kids that we've got. And hopefully the kids that are now in high school are looking at kayaking rather than just a hobby as actual varsity sport that they can do, and that will support the national team. So effectively, at OCU we've got the national team and the finest boaters in the world for definite. And the kids that I coach now that are juniors, when they go anywhere, they look at every other building like it's a toilet. You know, they can't believe, they think everywhere is like this. And unfortunately it's not. So Oklahoma is by far the best facilities in the world in terms of canoe kayak. So the athletes that I currently coach have got no excuses other than they can't understand their coach for not performing at a high level. So everything here, the support to the community like you've experienced is fantastic. So everything here is excellent. We've got no reason why they can't perform. So that's probably why they chose to come here. It's nothing to do with me. They're all good. In terms of numbers, just so you're aware, we've got 4 boys and 4 girls, which is really handy because when we come to the Collegiate Championships, which will be hosted here next May, I need 4 people for a K4. So it was really good that other girl decided to come this year. So that'll mean at the Collegiate Championships, which is a relatively new event, we won every single event we entered. So what I actually need now to win the overall points total, we need some what they call first year people that have never done it before, so we need novices. So I'm just looking for anybody that's an athlete who can sit in any kind of boat just to be on the water and get down a course. So any of the wrestlers or any other sport that wants to do it. I just need a few people and then we'll win the Open and the overall title for sure. So it's a little challenge to see who can do it. And we'll get the other kayakers to coach it. So that they can understand something that's actually American. That's it.
Speaking of Coach Craypaw, he's enrolled in class. He could kayak, I think.
Got a boat wide enough for my behind.
He said you just need a little bit of athletic ability.
Yeah, these are sticking in this.
Okay, we have a few new staff that it occurs to me maybe have not been introduced at other events, and so let's start right over here. Lance Madison. Lance just joined our staff. He came to us from Hutchinson Community College. He is our assistant men's basketball coach. John Wilcox is right in the middle. Just a few years ago, John was wrestling for OCU. He was an All-American wrestler. He's joined our wrestling staff as an assistant coach. And right in the back, Josh Brannon. Josh is an OCU Law School graduate. He joined our staff this year as an assistant athletic director. He's in charge of our compliance office. And I think that's everyone, right? Oh, Claire. I missed the, I got the D's. Claire Coggins. Claire joins our staff. She was at Connors Junior College, and she joins our staff as our assistant women's basketball coach. Not a member of our staff, but a guy who's just supported the heck out of our athletic department university for years, and who now is a member of the staff at the university. He's an OCU alum at least twice, and now he is the alumni director for our university. He's in the back. That's Kerry Perron. Yep. We're blessed to have you, Kerry, and Mandy Heaps is with him. But Kerry has been coming to ball games forever, and we just have that small group of folks who love us regardless of who the athletic director is, which is important right now. So we're glad to have you. Melody, are we ready to do some door prizes?